Ladies and gentlemen, Alex Jones here reporting with a key Infowars.com report. I have two sources inside the Army, and I have another source inside the Marines, a colonel, who have confirmed and talked to members of the family of SEAL Team 6 that supposedly was shot down a few days ago over Kabul, Afghanistan, that they were killed to shut them up about what they know about the staged raid on Osama bin Laden's compound back on May Day, May 1st, 2011. Now, one of them called into the show. He's proven to be an incredible source of information. Everything he's told us has turned out to be true. The invasion of Libya before it happened, the step down of General McChrystal. He is a colonel in one of the branches of the armed services. I'll just say ground forces. I know his name, know his information. I'm not going to obviously reveal the full source here, but he'll be on tomorrow. And he confirmed what my other sources have told us, that they've talked to the family members. They've also given that information over to Cy Hirsch of the New Yorker magazine, the Pulitzer Prize winner, that this was a killing of the rest of SEAL Team 6 that was threatening to blow the whistle on the fact that members of SEAL Team 6 did die in that experimental stealth troop carrier helicopter that crashed in the OBL raid. And that the SEALs were talking about the fact that OBL was not there. They were there killing, quote, another terrorist leader. This is a total propaganda piece. And they have talked to widows and others, and the SEALs are hopping mad to know that this was a hit. Now remember, this in a 9+ year war was the greatest one-day casualty ever, and it just so happens to be the rest of SEAL Team 6, the group that raided bin Laden's compound. And first you were told the SEALs weren't involved, then they were, then it was SEAL Team 6, then it was those that were involved, then it wasn't. But my intel is that basically this was the rest of SEAL Team 6 that was killed, and that this was not a cover story for the deaths back on May 1st to then add them onto another crash onto the roster, a well-known trick used by our government and other governments. But indeed, this was the wiping out of the rest of SEAL Team 6 because they were speaking out and angry about what happened and tired of being used. Now remember, Pat Tillman wrote letters home, was going to come out against our government growing the opium in Afghanistan, which is now admitted years later. Pat Tillman was going to speak out against the war being a giant fraud and our government working with the Taliban. He was murdered, and that's now come out that he was murdered and they tried to cover it up. Private Jessica Lynch, a bunch of members of her team that spoke out and said that she cowered and feared. They were all murdered in the U.S., so she went public and said it's all fake, it's all a lie. In these PR events, they will kill people. These are major propaganda rollouts, and I've got incredible intel. So we speculated. We said, did they just claim that folks died in this crash that really died in May, or were they getting rid of the rest of SEAL Team 6? We don't know, but the official bin Laden story is a lie. You know, the fake Situation Room photos, the fake video feeds they admit, the burial at sea, bin Laden grabbing his wife, using her as a shield. They admit all that's a lie. Don't forget that. We don't know exactly what happened because they lied. We just know it's a lie. But now we have intel directly into Army and Marine sources. I know this is Navy, but they've all got the same scuttlebutt, that this whole thing's a fraud. And the fact that SEALs don't use National Guard Chinook helicopters on missions, this whole thing stinks to high heaven. The SEALs are very angry and believe that it was a hit. They're not stupid. They're very, very tight-knit. What was the word that was used? They're very, they're very in tune. They're very compact. We'll be covering it all tomorrow, but this is definitely a cover-up of what really happened with the OBL stage killing. We'll report it all live tomorrow at Infowars.com with breaking news and with some of these key intel sources on the radio live, so please join us tomorrow.